D-U-N-D-E! Exclamation mark! Woo!
Connection.
With.
Dundee. I moved to Dundee from Aberdeen when I was a toddler.
Originally from Orkney, but I've been living in Dundee for nearly 10 years.
I've lived all my life in Dundee.
And I live in Broughty Ferry.
Apart from 3 or 4 years when I lived in Gateshead.
I originally come from Fife, lived there for 14 years.
I'm a student here at Dundee Uni.
Then moved to Dundee to continue with my education.
I was born in Glasgow and now I live in Dundee.
I'm born and bred in Dundee.
I was born in Dundee.
So I'm very proud to be a Dundonian.
What's your
Job.
My job title is Communities Officer for Maryfield.
Started my own business as a landscaper.
I'm Dundee Waterfront Project Coordinator.
Currently in my second year just now.
A teacher at Minas Hill.
I'm a community health worker.
And I'm a lollipop man.
I'm a theatre director.
I'm a community learning and development worker with Dundee City Council.
Designer and game director at Dundee.
I'm manager here at the show.
And Thorfinn, you haven't got a job, have you?
No.
No, he's at school.
What does job involve?
I work in the more deprived communities of Dundee, offering health promoting activities.
My job to make sure that all the work that's taking place just now is properly coordinated.
Best thing about my job, I would think, is getting out and working with people and trying to support positive change.
I'm responsible for all the sort of creative focus on the games we make.
Art and music workshops through to big events on Friday nights such as band.
You meet a lot of kids and their parents.
Best things about my job,
Working with brilliant kids from Dundee.
The young people.
happy combination of something I'm really passionate about with something that I'm qualified to do.
When I can get them enthusiastic about poetry or literature or thinking about themselves and how they can make themselves better, then it's one of the most exciting jobs you could ever do.
Making things in teams, that's always good fun.
And it's a healthy job, you're outside in the rain.
It's different every day.
Getting people to have a really good time when they come out for the evening.
I suppose mostly working with people, and particularly young people.
Probably doing work.
I'd say golden time.
Do you like golden time?
Yeah.
Yeah, golden time as well, but not as good as work.
Job.
Opportunities.
Things a very mixed picture.
I don't think it's particularly brilliant, and I don't think it's going to get better the next 2 or 3 years.
I think employment's really hard to find in Dundee and the country's in a major recession.
I'm struggling so hard to find a summer job between years of uni, so...
For young people in particular, it's really difficult, and people just like in their 50s that have been made redundant really struggle to get work.
Not very good unless you've got experience, to be honest.
Must be terrible to go to school and study, do that, and then there's no work for you at all.
I think that the City Council and the Scottish Government are setting up a number of initiatives to help that.
Increasingly, we're going to see more opportunities coming along.
There's a better chance than most places, I would say.
I think there are lots of opportunities.
Particularly for offshore renewables.
I think there's loads of opportunities.
There is jobs out there if you look hard enough. It might not be what you want, but you will get a job.
It's just difficult sometimes for people to find it, and having the support to be able to access those opportunities.
So it's just the way things are at the moment.
What's
Interesting.
Historically.
about?
Dundee.
That's a good question.
Dundee's got a really big history.
I think Dundee's got a brilliant history.
Scottish buildings, because I'm not from Scotland, so for me it's like different.
Buildings are still really, really nice, although they are knocking down a lot of them.
There's not many cities that got 4 or 5 castles in them.
We've got some beautiful churches around the place.
All the really nice parks that have been there for such a long time is a real asset to Dundee.
I think obviously there's a lot of old architecture from the industrial era.
My favourite fact about Dundee is that the Law Hill used to be a volcano.
It's built on a volcano.
I didn't know that, but my dad told me. DC Thompson's.
We've got like DC Thompson, which has been there forever. Some worldwide stuff and the museums and that.
Juice industry and how it evolved and then fell suddenly, and how the population grew and then descended so rapidly.
Industries such as whaling and all the sea industries.
Well, I think one of the most interesting things from a military perspective is that Admiral Duncan comes from Dundee.
technological, and we've got things like the universities.
Dundee was full of really feisty, strong women.
The lives of women, predominantly, that looked after families and worked in the mills is interesting. You can still see echoes of it in the buildings that we have in Dundee.
Dundee, where the old meets the new. What? Landmark.
Do.
You. Like.
Best. That's a good question.
Discovery, because it's like shows really good history.
The Discovery down by the City Quay.
I just think I've been there quite a few times and I just think it's really cool.
Discovery, it's just dead old, fascinating.
Sort of know that, you know, Dundonas actually went to the Antarctica.
It tells us that Dundee still was quite important even back in the Victorian era.
Or there's the Verdant Works as well.
Verdant Works is good.
The Law Hill, because it's really pretty and you can see out to Broughty Ferry or the Tay.
The Law Hill.
It's got to be the Law Hill.
I would have to agree with Katie, I like the Law Hill as well.
People who are not from this area, if you take them to the Law Hill, it takes their breath away.
Because as you come across the Tay Road Bridge, that's the first thing you see and it really catches your eye and it looks really nice. Because you get a really good view of Dundee.
The Tay estuary and the hills up to the north.
Or right out beyond Broughty Ferry to sea.
It kind of stands over Dundee.
On bonfire night, you go up there and you could watch all the fireworks.
And they get a real appreciation of the wonderful setting that the city has.
Everything just standing before you.
Like when you see it from the map, it's got that lovely spiral leading up to it too.
Botanic Gardens, I think, because it's quite peaceful and very green.
I'd say Dens Park football ground, just because it's the home of Dundee.
Balgay Hill.
Balgay Hill. Balgay Hill's really nice.
I like the beach the best.
I think I like the river is my favourite landmark.
I like going walking the riverside.
I quite like the old church on Main Street there. I've been there a couple of times.
The church along there.
I think it's one of the most beautiful buildings in the whole of Scotland, not just in Dundee.
Because it's awesome. What? Do.
Yeah.
What? About.
Dundee.
I love the nightlife. Acting grips. The fact that all the shops are in the one area, so it's easy just to nip into town and get stuff. The leisure.
Outdoor football pitches. There's a lot for youths, which I think is quite important in a city.
It's scale.
It's not big like Glasgow or London, that. It's not too small like Forfar or Brecon.
Big enough to have the right range of shops, cafes, bars, schools, universities.
It's just a fine size.
Almost village feel, but actually it's a city at the same time.
I think Dundee's a marvellous place.
Better than Glasgow, better than any other place, isn't it?
Dundee!
What?
Wood.
Yeah. Train.
And
Dundee. Not having to get up at 7:15 for school.
Getting up in the morning.
Construction.
Less car parks. A lot of this construction work gets left. They don't seem to always finish what they do.
Well, I would say that it would be good if we could try and get rid of the serious drug problem that's in Dundee.
More parks are that central or even just wee grassy bits.
Probably the amount of homeless people. Give them homes and stuff.
Meeting. Friends. Well, most of my friends are in the shores, so I meet them there.
At their houses.
DCA is a good place to go for me.
Or at the cinema.
We go to like the pictures or something.
The church in town.
I meet them at Durham Skate Park so we can have a little skate.
That's where we go skate to start the day off and go wherever from there.
Sometimes in the town centre because it's busy and stuff.
All over, sometimes the DCA, sometimes the rep.
Baxter Park. Baxter's Park, plenty of space to muck about.
I meet up with my friends by the fountains in front of the Caird Hall.
Usually I meet in the Overgate.
Shopping centre, just because it's just really fun.
Because I really like going there.
Because we go shopping there.
Up to the golf course near where I live in Blumby.
Clubs, bars, the Union.
In town, that's where everyone meets up. I like the Olympia.
The Olympia swimming pool.
A good place to hang out.
We sometimes get something to eat in the ferry, then go play football.
In the Fort Bar in Broughty Ferry.
I have been known to have a beer in the Clip Bar on Clippington Road with my friends.
And of course I have a pint of beer.
I still play football, and our football team is sponsored by the Fort Bar.
Yeah, most of my times now spent in my caravan.
And it's just a great place where we meet.
I've just been boxing at the gym there.
Me and my friends, we go swimming quite a lot.
And now I'm just going out for dinner with friends.
Just muck about, build dens, things like that. Typical teenage boys.
Skating on a Friday and sometimes the cinema.
Either the Castle Green or the cinema because it's fun.
I think there's loads to do. It's really fun.
Lots to do that costs nothing and lots to do that costs some money.
Best bits.
I like skateboarding and breakdancing a lot.
Crazy about football, and my wife says that I'm crazy to still be playing football.
Well, I have 4 kids, so I don't have a lot of spare time.
Do digital stuff on the computer, like digital drawing.
Do something practical.
I like to sing, dance, act and listen to music.
I also love hill walking and cycling.
Yeah, there's lots of places to walk in Dundee.
Well, I like a good walk. I walk with the Clato and all that.
And what better part of the world to do all those things?
People should probably do more of it.
I like going to the gym.
Going to the University Sports Centre.
I'm in an adult drama group.
I like to go swimming at the Grove building.
Running on a Tuesday and Thursday with Hot Kill Harriers.
And it's a really nice building.
Reading?
I'm a part of a book group.
Draw or go to a picture.
I like being at home, watching telly.
I like to have a glass of wine.
Having a glass of wine.
Go out and about, I do some walking, I do some gardening.
What do you like to do in your spare time?
Football.
Yeah, we both like to play football.
I do a lot of sports.
Quite into scuba diving. There's quite a lot of scuba diving in the Angus area.
Probably just going for walks along the Tay.
Yeah,
nice.
walk along the Tay is nice.
And nice and easy.
Nice walks.
But sometimes in the summer I'll also go to the beach. So it's nice and warm.
Yeah.
Dundee's really nice when it's like this and everybody comes out.
Dream.
Job. Well, I'd really like to be on Broadway,
Work in a museum as a curator.
but I doubt that's going to happen, so a primary teacher.
I either want to be a chef, a marine biologist. This could go on for a while.
I'd really, really like to be a journalist.
Retirement.
Something to do with languages.
I would be playing for Scotland at football.
I've chosen my subjects in school, but I haven't decided what I want to do when I grow up.
I'd like to be Kylie Minogue. That or politics, maybe.
I once heard somebody wanted to do a job being a giraffe tamer as opposed to a lion tamer. I think that might be entertaining.
My dream career is to be a musician and to produce loads of different types of music. An artist of some sort.
Well, I have half a band, so yeah, we need a drummer and another guitarist.
I want to be a photographer.
Mine would be teaching.
Probably be like a doctor or something.
I'd quite like to be an author.
Okay, Bridget.
Yeah.
And I might also want to be an actor. I'm not sure. Might have loads of different part-time jobs.
Yeah.
Where?
Well,
Yeah.
be in 2020.
Married, children,
Growing up.
I'd like to see myself getting a job.
fully fledged business.
If I'm still doing what I'm doing in 8 years' time, that would be great. But
Hopefully working, living on my own and stuff like that.
Probably in university studying something.
Definitely not living with my parents.
Older.
Hopefully at a university someplace.
Just enjoying myself, and we'll have a new waterfront as well.
Hopefully in a successful career.
I'll be doing this kind of thing full time in 2020 with the intelligence scores, is my hope.
Well, I'm doing criminology at university, so it'll be doing something to do with that.
I hope to maintain a connection with Dundee because the university here has given me my education.
Just as happy as I am now, hopefully.
Lucky enough, I've had a good life, you know. And I've got a good family. I've got 3 daughters and 2 sons.
Happy.
Family, yeah, happy.
Watching the fruits of my labour, my kids will all be happy and doing well.
R.
Yeah. Helping.
Make.
Dundee.
Better.
I'd like to think so.
I would like to think so in terms of working with kids.
Yeah, very much so. I'm a community worker and I use what's called community development to work with local people to help them identify things that they want changed.
Like through societies and stuff.
we recently won Scottish BAFTA for Quarrel. I think things like that draw attention to the fact that Dundee is productive. Yes, I think we are by just making stuff that people will want to play.
I think so, in a little way.
We've done lots of Dundee projects where we consider the different industries and the different places.
And they can work together collectively to do that.
would take kids to look at places in Dundee that they might have not been to before.
Is it bad if I say no?
Everybody that lives here is part of making Dundee better for the future.
D.
U. A. D.
E.
E. Dundee.
One city, many discoveries.
1. Wish. 4. Dundee.
To be the third city in Scotland.
Not all this rubbish about like credit crunch going about.
And the recession to be completely over.
Just a better economy so that people have got more jobs. And
I think we should try and get out of the credit crunch.
Probably just actually have it a bit easier to get a job, to be honest.
And us to be quite happy with the amount of money that we have.
It would be fantastic if, say, the V&A's here, there's loads of people with really great jobs, more tourists come into the city.
More tourists, I think.
And the city's renowned for being a centre for the arts and creativity and culture.
Better shops, to be honest. All of them seem to be closing down recently.
I'd like to have like more things to go out and do.
I'd like to see the waterfront developments at the moment come to fruition.
Festival, music festival.
Maybe the Queen could visit. That would be good.
Well, I would like to see all my family getting on well.
Dundee would win the Champions League, I suppose. That would be one dream.
But that's never going to happen.
No,
so.
but it's a dream though. So.
I would love to feel that the people of Dundee were really, really proud of the city. I always think that the Dundee should have more confidence and pride in the brilliant place that it is.
Thank you.